Good afternoon, friends. My name is Kama Hamilton Morton, and today is Monday, March 1st. Can you believe it? We're turning a calendar page and looking forward to a year that we hope will bring new life, new relationships, health, hope, as we move through this COVID year that has been just about 1 year long. I am in the Villages, Florida. It is a continuing, enlarging community. I think around about 125,000 people right now that live here that are 55 and up. And my folks live here, my dad and stepmom Marianne. And so I came down to check on my dad, who's going through some pretty intensive cancer protocol right now, and it's been wonderful to see him in person. He's been through a lot in the last 5 years, and so just good to see each other in person. It was my first COVID flight since last year. I was able to get a direct flight from Denver to Orlando, which was great. Downside is they were filling up the middle seats, so I was double masked. And, you know, we do what we need to do when we're balancing care of self, care of others, and a need to connect with family. So my prayers are with you all. We are continuing in the Lenten season, and we have just experienced, yesterday was the second Sunday of Lent, and so we're continuing through. Gosh, the weeks are just ticking by. And I continue to follow the rhythm of prayer and reflection of our book, the Lent in Plain Sight book. You can see that on our previous posts. And I was struck this for today, just a brief little reflection in the middle of a day after lunch to share, because I just got a call that one of our beloved elders in our congregation has died. And so for any of you who know the Grace Congregation in South Denver, Boyd Seafeld died this morning. And I just, it kind of catches you up short. He was a beloved member, and just a year ago, February 26th, his wife died, his long beloved wife died, Jane, and we had her service right before everything shut down with COVID. So I'm just holding that news and that conversation with their neighbor who called me, and I came upon in the readings for this week in our handout and in the book, one of the readings for this week's reflection through Lent comes from one of my favorites, from the little book in the end of the New Testament. It's called Hebrews, and it's kind of a general letter to the church, and Hebrews chapter 12, 1 through 3. So today I just wanted to share. It's been a few days because of my travels, and so let us just pause, and I invite you to think about people that you know, people that you love, in your family, in your friendship circle, neighborhood, teachers, church, community, who you may have lost, and those who have gone before us. And so this kind of classic language brings to mind a sense of connection in a special way. So this is from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. And the author of Hebrews is looking to Jesus as the example for us, and that's part of the Lenten journey, is that we look to Jesus as an example for our lives and for the pragmatic ways that we can live in relationship and love with each other. And so this prayer, this image is just so historic and strong. Therefore, so this chapter 12 comes after the author of Hebrews has talked about many of the fathers and mothers of the Jewish faith, Abraham and Noah and Moses and other Israelite heroes. And then, so at the end of chapter 11, and then chapter 12 starts with, therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely. And let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, who, for the sake of the joy that was set before him, endured the cross, disregarding its shame, and has taken his seat at the right hand of the throne of God. And so as we consider, again, those who have gone before us, and I love this image, and throughout Roman Christian art, you'll see this sense of this cloud of witnesses, this sense of those who have lived and died and gone on, that in some way their presence, their power, their witness, their examples, their lives can still impact us and influence us. And then we are invited to consider how, because of that, how can our lives be a witness, an influence, an example for those around us. And so I just love that image as we think about those whom we know, people that we may or may not know by name, but who have influenced us. And so therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight. My goodness, friends, are you feeling weighed down this day, this month, this season, this year? Have we not felt the weight of life, of trying to navigate through life in ways that are discombobulating or hard or painful or grieving? So lay aside every weight and the sin that clings so closely. And that's a good reminder. I love that phrase too, that sense that sometimes it is the behaviors, the attitudes, the actions that are not helpful, that are not healthy, that are toxic, or that they can just cling to you, can't they? They can cling to your heart. They can almost, feels like a film, right? So what are those sins, those things, those behaviors, those markers that we know we just need to try to move away from or to move beyond, and yet they can cling so closely. So just great imagery from the scripture today. Looking to Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, that we may go forth trying to be a part of that cloud of witnesses for others. So in this Lenten journey. And so, question for reflection for us: what or who spurs your faith when you are lagging or uncertain? And the author, Jill Duffield, the author of this Lenten Plain Sight, she says, if you think of somebody, write down their names. Give thanks for them. So I thought that'd be a good prayer practice. So maybe in the next day or two, if you can think about who are those people in your life. Again, it may be somebody you know personally and are personally connected to, or it might be someone that you don't know actually, but that their life has been an influence to you. Who is it that spurs your faith? And I would add your strength, your who gives you the sense to go on, and wisdom and strength when you are lagging or uncertain. Anyone else have moments when you feel lagging or uncertain, right? And so who are those people that we can turn to? Again, maybe it's somebody walking around next to us right now. Maybe it's somebody who died 300 years ago. Maybe it's, somebody in the Bible. Who are those people that can help us when we're lagging and uncertain? I thought that was a good question. And if you think of that, turn it into a prayer. Jot down their names or who they are, my third grade teacher, or somebody in your life that has been an influencer in a positive, helpful way for you. Influencer. It's one of those words that was not a part of my vocabulary before social media, right? So, by the way, that is a little orange tree right outside the window. I'm in the back lanai area of my folks' place, and I just had to show the oranges. Isn't that cute? So, as we go forth today, friends, let us think about life, death, life beyond death, relationships, illness, strength. Just being here, it has been just wonderful. It's been a year and a half since I've seen my dad, and so just moments. Dad and I went to this little pool area and just had a lovely lunch by the water, a little bit of breeze and some clouds and heat and humidity. But moments that can bring meaning and be a part of that cloud of witnesses for life from now on. Those memories and those people that come in to us. So may we look for ways to connect with one with another that we can bring groundedness and strength and hope to each other. So I'm going to pray, and then I'm going to sing in honor of, as I was thinking after I got this phone call from this beloved gentleman, Boyd, sing a little spiritual, little Thomas Dorsey as we think about this coming week. And the image for this week in the Lent in Plain Sight book, she uses these tangible objects, and this week's object is the cross, which is an object of torture, of death. It was meant, as in many cases, people say, well, we need to do this to people so that they're example and other people won't do it. And I don't know that usually works throughout history as a deterrent, but it became, in the Christian tradition, the church took that symbol of shame and of utter, loss, and meant to be put up for everybody to see, and they turned it into this symbol of life beyond life and of hope. And so may we take those things that we can for our lives as well. So I invite you to take a breath, and let's pray. Oh, Jesus, we thank you for not giving up on us or the world around us. Your life and your death became a witness of life, of grace, of possibility, of transformation. Help us now to run our race of faith, that we may look to you as the pioneer and perfecter, that we may look at each other and find those people, find those examples of the cloud of witnesses who can hold us in our life, that we may be inspired to live in such a way that we may be part of the cloud of witnesses for others. Amen. I think I'm getting some messages in response to the announcement of Boyd's death. So I'm going to go for it. This is a favorite of mine. Maybe you've seen it in movies or sung it in church or around a campfire. And it's Precious Lord, Take My Hand. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When the darkness appears and the night day is past and gone. At the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. At the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. May we extend our hands to God, to Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, and to each other's sisters and brothers, friends, neighbors, students, colleagues. We are here and we are moving forward because we are doing it together. The world needs us. The world needs you. And so may we consider those who make up that blessed cloud of witnesses. May we prayerfully think about those in our lives, in your life, who have been a part of that stability, that support when you have been faltering and flailing and falling. And may we hold on tightly to one another, knowing that it is only when we are connected that we make the journey. We will get there when we all get there. Grace and peace to you, my friends. Enjoy the orange trees here. Look out, enjoy your family. Consider making a phone call or dropping a card in the mail or doing a video chat with someone you haven't talked with in a while. And we'll talk to you later. Blessed week of Lent. Amen.